what guys do. They either have friends who are women or sisters or whoever, and what their sisters or their friends are gonna say is, oh my goodness, or they'll overhear them saying like, oh, this guy tried to talk to me, and this guy was all up in my space, and it's like a whole bunch of negative stuff they're hearing from women saying it. And like I said before, it's usually because the guys that approached her was a guy she wasn't interested in anyway. So it's like annoying to her that this guy who I didn't like, you know what I'm saying, is approaching me.
Right.
So it's like women love to get approached. Women love the attention. They love for men to, approach them and talk to them. They love it. The thing is that when you hear them complaining, they're complaining about the guys that they don't like, or they're complaining because even sometimes there'll be a guy that they do like that approaches them, but they're upset that day. They're in a bad mood. They had a fight with their girlfriend. It's like all these other,
or they just don't feel like it.
Yeah, there's all these variables that will make them not like the interaction and project that onto the whole interaction. But then if a woman was like, this is so annoying and blah blah blah, and then imagine you said to that same woman saying that, listen, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna tell every man in the world to not talk to you ever. You're gonna walk outside. No one's gonna look at you. She would be mad. You understand? So they want it, but they're confusing. They don't know how to differentiate, what it's really about. You understand?
I can think of some women who would be like, oh man, I didn't get catcalled at all today. Like that was great. Like I think there are women who would just be happy to like not have this like constant like.
Yeah,
in some ways it's an annoyance. In some ways it's like I'm just playing the part of like the feminist who's tired of this shit right now. So in some ways it's an annoyance. In some ways it's like threatening. Like I was talking to a girl I'm dating last night on the phone, and she was like, I heard like she was walking down the street, and I heard this guy say like, hey, blah, 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 and she was like, oh God, like, and it was like, and like she. Like I was there for that moment, like I was on the phone and I heard him say it, and I heard her reaction, and like just hearing that, like for one thing, at first she's just like annoyed, and like, why don't you just leave me alone, kind of. But then she's also like, I'm a woman walking alone at night. This is when people get raped, this is when people get stalked, this is when people get like groped, this is when people get like I think there's an argument to be made for like women just don't want to get yelled at, right? Like women just don't want to be approached in this way.
Yeah. No. See, women shouldn't get yelled at. Like I don't think like a guy should be like, yo, like all up in the air, like across the street or whatever. But the thing is this: if a man wants to approach you, he should approach you. But also it is also this too, is that you're going to have guys who are going to approach you who's going to be like on some nonsense, who's going to be rude, who's going to be, but it's usually a small percentage. It's not as much as women make it out to be. What happens though is that if a guy approaches you and a woman responds to him in a negative way, that's going to breed the negativity just in general. So the woman is starting the negativity and spreading that around with her whole aura. So then it becomes her it's not necessarily about the guy approaching you. It's about how you're feeling and how you're reacting to his approach. Like, for example, I used to sell CDs on the street in Times Square, and there would be cops that would come around and they would be like, oh, you can't sell here, blah, 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 right? So I remember one time this cop came up to me just real raunchy and disrespectful, right? And then he's, basically yelling at me for like 2 minutes straight. I let him talk, and I said, officer, I apologize, and I said, I understand, and I was like, I had a merchant's license, so I was allowed to sell out there, and I was like, officer, I'll show you my merchant's license. I got this the other day, and they said I could sell over here at this time, and he was like, okay, I appreciate that. I appreciate you. Show like the tone went down. You know what I'm saying?
When you brought your tone to a calm level, you were able to calm him down.
You understand what I'm saying? So it's like, a lot of times, and a lot of times where a woman will get mad about that, a lot of times guys would, they wouldn't even continue. They'll just move on or whatever. But it's still that she's so upset and she's so negative about it that even when a guy is being nice to her, just approaching, she already starts off like, you know what I'm saying?
Right, yeah.
So it's like, and even if it happens to you 1, 2, 4, 5, 100 times a day, the thing is that the energy that you put out there, because a lot of times, you know, a lot of people don't believe this, but we attract certain things in our lives. So if you're going to attract the type of dude, a lot of dudes who are going to just be on, you know, raunchy about it, then it's something that you're doing to attract those type of guys. And the thing is that you're going to have guys talk to you regardless, no matter what. There's nothing you can do that is going to have no guy talking to you forever until you die. You're going to have guys talking to you, but it's about how you respond to those guys. It's about the energy that surrounds yourself, the energy you put you surround yourself with, because a woman should technically if a guy approaches you and you're like, why is these guys approaching me? This sucks. It's like you're basically setting yourself up to be a negative person, because why? Guys are not going to stop approaching you. You understand what I'm saying? That's like me saying, I got to work. I got to get up and work. I got to make money. I got to pay bills. Yes, this is life. You know, that's what it is. You know, you can't escape it. You know what I mean? Like,
so you're saying like, so there's no, It's
like
I mean, like we asked before if the utopian question, are met, like what would be ideal, and realistically, you don't see men stopping.
Yeah, they don't, and it's funny.
Men aren't going to stop yet, like talking to women on the street. Like, that's not going to happen.
It's going to keep going, because like, you know, there will be women where I approach or I talk to, and sometimes, you know, they're not interested in talking or whatever, and then you have like, you know, one type of woman who will say, you know, she'll be nice about it. She's like, oh, you know, hey, how you doing? Talking to her. And then I'm like, yeah, let's get together. She's like, oh, I have a boyfriend, or, you know, and I'm like, all right, cool. Have a nice day. You know what I mean? Like, done. You know what I'm saying? Or sometimes like a girl will be walking and then she'll see I'm trying to talk to her and she'll be like, oh, I'm in a rush. And I'm like, all right, cool. Have a nice day. You know, like, it's not, you know, and then you have some girls who you say something and it's like they want to fight you. Why are you in my face for? I don't, you know, it's just like, where's the negativity? Like, the person who's being negative in this situation is you.